Hi everyone. How's everyone doing? Sorry I was a minute late. I definitely got dive bombed by a stink bug right before I was getting ready to add myself to the stream and um and it was terrifying. Just so you all know, it was extremely terrifying. I'm glad to see absolutely everyone here tonight. Thank you guys all so much for joining us, and special thank you to Jingles for coming in. Hi Jingles, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. So Jingles is here tonight, guys, so that she can help us talk about Kaylee. She's been in very close contact with Brenda and Danny, and and is going to enlighten us on some of the stuff that has been happening recently. We are 140 days in. Kaylee Jones is still missing. So thank you so much, B Tim. You did not have to do that. I appreciate you too. Always appreciate me doing these cases. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, first and foremost, I want to go over kind of some of the beginning details of this case so that those of you who may be new to who Kaylee Jones is can get a little bit more familiar with her. So, let me show her flyer. So, this is Kaylee Jones. She is 16 years old. Actually, she's 17 now, isn't she? She just had her birthday, or no? She
Yes,
just had her
she's had a
16th
birthday.
birthday. Yeah, okay. So, she's 17 now. She was 16 at the time of her disappearance. She has brown hair, brown eyes. She's 5'8", 135 pounds, and she was last seen at her home, which is in Carrollton, Georgia, on 6/14 of 22. And so she has been missing for 140 days, which has been it's been rough on her family and on her siblings, and everyone surrounding her. Honestly, her friends and the community, really, because nobody really understands where she is. Kaylee was last known to have been talking to someone online, they believe, and they believe that she could have possibly been lured from her home by an individual on the internet. And some of the mysterious things about Kaylee's disappearance is when she left, she actually took her social security card and her birth certificate with her. And so, Jingles, do you want to tell us a little bit more about what's happening over the last 140 days?
Oh, there's been a lot. There's been numerous searches on the property. Um, Law enforcement and by some locals. Um, they ran the dogs then. They wasn't able to run them long in the summertime because of the heat and the thick terrain and stuff. But now that it's wintertime, they've actually started running the dogs again. They covered 150 acres by drone, looking for her book bag, and 150 acres with cadaver dogs about 3 weeks ago, and they didn't find anything,
And so that
which we were
150
glad.
acres that you're talking about, that's the property like directly surrounding their home, like their neighborhood.
Yes, yes, yes.
And the
Um,
police didn't indicate that they were do you want to tell us some details about why the police did that search? Just
well,
basically
they
to
did.
cross it off, or go ahead.
Yes, they just wanted. They said this far in, they really figured they would have found her by now, and since they hadn't, they wanted this was their next step to just cross it off that, maybe if she met somebody bad in the woods that night and, maybe they did something to her immediately after getting her. They were looking for that kind of thing, or, maybe a glimpse of her book bag. But it was just to basically just to mark it off their list so they could say that they had searched with cadaver dogs and by drones now that it's opened up where they can see. And they said there's still more searching that they're going to do. Um,
Right. Whenever
I
you're
don't know
saying
how
opened up
long.
so that they could see, you're talking about because the leaves are starting to fall.
Yeah, yeah, the leaves are falling, and but then I think they still have to be kind of careful because now we're into hunting season. So they have to.
Wait, I think I lost you. Jingles. I think we lost your volume.
This is
Oh, there you go.
hearsay from some neighbors. Oh, this is some hearsay from some neighbors saying that they had knocked on their door and was saying they would even be checking under some porches and around some houses in the neighborhood. But I think still, again, it's just a thing of marking them off, to say, hey, we have searched this property. It
So have
wasn't
the
because of any
police,
tip.
right? Have the police indicated to anyone yet if they have any leads about where she possibly could have gone at this point?
No, no leads. Um, None. I mean, they've had some sightings, but none of them have been her. Um, we just keep telling everybody, if you see something, say something.
Mm-hmm.
She could be anywhere, or she could be close. We have no clue because there's been no activity on her, any of her accounts, no activity on her debit card, no phone calls to any family or friends. Nothing. It's just as if she just fell off the face of the earth.
Now, I know that a lot of the stuff that they were looking into in the beginning was like the Omegle site and some of the other sites that she had been visiting. Have they been able to follow down like all of the people that she had been talking to online at this point? Or is there still
They
things that they
they
can't?
did. There's still a lot that we don't know ourselves.
Hmm.
But there is, some. I know that they've, I think, cleared the boyfriend. They've checked with him. There was a couple of other guys that she had. One she had snuck out with, and one she'd been talking to, and I think they cleared them. Um, there's been a lot of people cleared,
Hmm. But still
um,
no suspect yet,
but
or
still
no
know her.
indication as to where she is.
No, and a lot of people mentioned Biomom. Biomom, brother checks with Biomom and, frequently visits his grandmother. Um,
Hmm.
Not necessarily his biomom because they don't get along, but he does visit the grandmother and he stays in, contact and makes sure that she's not, around in that area. And like I told you earlier, the the cops up there check in with him about once a week and give him an update on what's going on in Illinois. So,
So Illinois is like
so that's good.
actively pursuing and investigating then.
Yes,
How's Georgia
yes.
been with the investigation so far?
Um, we don't hear a lot from them. That don't mean that they're not working. We just don't hear a lot from them. Um, but they are actively working the case. I mean, I have seen, what they've done. And I do know that they're actively working it, even if we're not seeing it. Of course, we would like more contact with them,
Right.
But I think as parents and as friends, you're always wanting more contact with them. No matter what they give you, it's never enough.
Right. Absolutely.
and
Yeah, even
and
with
you're
Kaylee.
always on that search for that person that can help you, you know. And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, we don't see flyers, but we're constantly handing out flyers. We're constantly putting up flyers, setting up at the flea market or setting up at a different event, with a Kaylee table.
Hmm.
Um, we've
So
made yard
criminality.
signs.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Keep going. Sorry.
I said we've made yard signs and big 2 by 4 foot banners that are going up. We've had her put, we've had the billboards back up and running again because they only ran for so many weeks. to start
Right.
with. And so we've got them back up and running again. And they said they'll run as long as someone don't buy the spot.
Oh, that's
You know,
great.
so
And
as
that's
long as
Lamar
they're
that's doing that?
yes, yes. So they said as
That's such
long
an
as there's an
amazing
empty
program.
spot, that they will continue to run it unless someone buys that, you know, spot, then they'll continue to run it. So they're great. They're great. So that's good that they're back up and running again. So
So
there's a lot
criminality
going
has
on.
sorry. Yeah, there is. It sounds like it. Whenever the police originally started investigating, criminality asked, did they believe she was a runaway or did they immediately think that she was catfished through the internet?
Well, originally, you know, when mom called it in, she called it in as a runaway because, you know, she woke up and she was gone. It was after they started going through her um, computer that they came across posts and um, stuff like that that led them to believe that she was lured, possibly lured and groomed, you know, groomed and lured away.
Yeah, I know that there was a lot of like concerning things that they had seen on her social media.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So the Illinois, where in Illinois is is the searches being focused there? And have they given Hunter any indication that they believe that she could possibly be there?
No, no indication that she's on her way there or that she's been there. But I guess it's more or less in that town where Hunter and the mom live.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you so much, Elizabeth
But
Lander, for calling in a tip. I do want to encourage anybody if you do have any actual information that could lead to Kaylee, any tips or anything like that, not social media rumors, um, not YouTube video rumors or anything like that, but actual information that can lead to her being found, please do not hesitate to call that in because they need all the help
absolutely,
they can get to get Kaylee home.
absolutely, and it could be that one little detail that you think, oh well, this is probably nothing. That could be everything.
Yes. Yeah, she really could be in absolutely any state, Tammy Crimes.
Her I wished I had sent it to you. Her team, her writing team, redid their logo.
I think we just lost you again, Jingles. We're kind of your audio
You're
is going
there.
in and out. There it is. Okay, you're back.
Hey, okay. I tried to shrink you where I could send you something, and I guess I can't do that. But
Oh, the pictures.
Kay,
Yeah.
yeah, Kaylee's team, they redid their logo for her riding team, and it's Kaylee on Maisie. That's her horse,
Oh,
Maisie. They call her Maisie. Her name's Amazing Grace,
okay.
and so it's a cartoon character of the horse and Kaylee. That's their new team logo. Riding her riding team.
See, that's amazing.
Yeah,
She's
Brenda
loved
got
and
that
she's
picture
missed by
this morning.
everyone.
Everyone. And I know her horses miss her. That one
Okay,
little
so go ahead.
that one video of her teaching her horse to bow, it just melts my
Hmm.
heart. I just want to watch it over and over.
Okay, so Seal asked, did she take her birth certificate too? She did take her social and her birth certificate, right?
Yes, yes. And a lot of people have asked, well, how did she get a hold of that kind of stuff? Because we keep our kids locked up. But she had just taken her driving test for her driver's license. So they had all of it in a binder, getting ready to take it back to the DMV to get her license. So it was all out where she could just grab the folder and go, you know.
Has the FBI been involved with this at all? Oh no. I think we lost you again, Jingles. Jingles. Okay, I think you're back.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'm back. My internet
um,
just went out. Sorry.
it's okay. No, it's totally okay. So they are asking, is the FBI involved at all?
Yes, the FBI. The FBI, the CIA, the Secret Service, and the GBI and Homeland Security.
Oh wow. She has an entire force looking for her then.
Yes, yes. There's someone on each, in each group that is like uh, a person to reach out to. That there's like not like a person assigned to her from each group, but they are assisting.
Right. So Georgia is still the lead though, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Carroll County's still the lead.
Okay.
Hmm. But all the other agencies are assisting.
I'm just trying to look for questions if they pop up.
I know there's been a lot of questions about Kaylee's other cell phone. And because everybody says that brother bought her a cell phone when she went to stay with her brother in February. And what happened was brother bought him a new cell phone and gave her his old one. But then when Brenda, mom, came to Illinois to be with her, she brought Kaylee's phone from Georgia with her. And so when they went to fly back home, she told Kaylee, no, you leave that phone here. That's your brother's. You have a phone. So she only had one phone.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's been a lot of, I've seen that question come up a bunch in different chat groups. And Shauna made the comment a while ago that so what Kaylee was doing is she was studying Joshua's law. She had her learner's license, but she was doing Joshua's law so she could get her Georgia driver's license. She had a Florida license, but she couldn't get a Georgia without doing Joshua's law. And so when they talk about her doing her schoolwork on her computer before she left her laptop, that's what she was studying is Joshua's law so she could get her driver's license.
Okay, so it wasn't actual school, it was for her driver's license at that point.
Right, right, because it was summertime.
Mhm.
So yeah,
That makes sense.
she was just doing Joshua's law, which is a 40-hour. It's a 40-hour course that you have to take before getting licensed.
Okay. So let me pull up. I want to show that video. I think it's in the Facebook group here. Now, do you guys have any other vigils or anything coming up? I know that you guys had recently done a vigil with
with
Yarn's
urine.
family.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
urine Kathori. We do not have one.
Sorry.
We do not have one planned, but we do have one. I mean, but we are talking about trying to get something together for November, December. Because we need to get something together where we can keep her name
Yeah,
and
especially to get her
everything
home
out
before the
here.
holidays here. I know that
Yeah.
that's going to make it that much tougher. You know, we already missed her birthday, and I know that certainly Brenda and Danny and her whole family, you know, her siblings and everyone else want her home before this holiday season.
And that's just like being at Brenda. We had a little small get together for her birthday the other night, and Brenda just kept sitting there waiting for Kaylee to come through the door because that's one of her favorite days of the year is her mom's birthday. And she's like, she just kept waiting for her to bounce through the door and say, "Happy birthday, Mom." But that didn't happen.
Have Brenda and Danny had any luck as far as like private investigators go? I know that they had been looking to get one. Have they successfully found somebody that they're trusting to be the PI at this point?
They have one, yes. And they've contacted another group, and they're looking into it. And I think she's also gonna try to contact the private eye that found urine, because she was so pleased at how fast they found him. Once they hired the PI, um, and where the PI found him, I mean, none of us had actually searched that structure, but me and Shauna was really close to it, really close.
So it was actually the private investigator that located him.
Yes,
See,
yes,
I didn't know that.
yes. And they had ran dogs. The cops had searched that area. We had been out there, um, and it was the PI. The PI. He went back and talked to the last person that had talked to Garen, and it was one little clue that little boy spoke of is what helped them find him. He said, "I remember when I was talking to Garen that he turned his camera around and it was a square structure, concrete structure, and there was only one square concrete structure. When they found it, he was at the bottom of it,
Wow.
which was like almost like a 50-foot well, um, with like slots down the side. It was a runoff, like for a sewage. It was in like a sewage runoff area, and it's
Yeah.
one of the structures that's in like a runoff pond. And yeah, that's where they found him.
The seal's
So yeah,
asking. Go ahead.
but I was going to say she got the number from Andrew and them, and I think she's going to try to contact them.
So Seal's asking, how are the boys doing? Brenda and Danny's other kids, like the other siblings. We've
They're
heard a lot
doing.
about Hunter and we've heard a lot about Kaylee, but we don't hardly ever hear about her three other brothers.
Yeah,
I think we're losing you again,
they
hun. So
I hadn't met the oldest one. I hadn't met the oldest child, but I have met her twins. And of course they miss their sister, and they wish she'd come home, and they wish this would hurry up and end for their parents, more or less, especially for the parents, because they see how bad their parents are hurting.
have they still been having a lot of issues online? I know that there was a period there they were going through a lot of harassment and a lot of, just issues, I guess I would say, with some of the
It,
different opinions that were happening. And I know that that was, even Hunter was having a huge
yeah,
dealing with some of that.
they've hunted him down at work. They've come to his house. They call him. And I'm not sure if it's still going on up there with him, but I know with Brenda and Danny, they still kind of have to stay away from social media. Um, just like, of course, I won't call no names, but like after our candlelight vigil, there was a young lady that was like all helpful and wanted to be like in the in the in group, you know what I'm saying, and help with everything, and it was fun. And then as soon as the vigil was over, she texts me and she's like, you know what? If you support the parents, then I'm no longer your friend. And I'm like, where did that come from?
Wow.
And she's like, and I'm going to call the cops on you. Why are you calling the cops on us? And she's like, I said, what did we do for you to call the cops on us? And she says, because I don't trust the dad. I said, you don't trust the dad, so why are you going to call the cops, though? I still don't understand why you calling the cops on me and them. What did we do at the vigil? She says, nothing, but you believe them, so I'm not going to be your friend anymore. And you know where I live, so you could tell him where I live, and then he could come do the same thing to me that he did to his daughter. And I'm like, wow, that's a stretch.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
that's
crazy.
really out there,
That's like that's
like,
beyond reaching considering that, they have all of these different agencies assisting in the investigation. There's been no evidence of any foul play. The police have not indicated any foul play at all so
and
far.
that's what I said on Nana's Angels channel. I said, don't you think if the parents were involved with all of these agencies, Carroll County wouldn't be able to hold the amount of heat that would be on top of them if they thought they were guilty?
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we see this in so many cases though where people just automatically want to blame the parents and blame the family and stuff like that. And in a lot of situations, that is that does turn out to be true. There are a lot of parents that harm their children, unfortunately. But in Kaylee's case, I don't think that's what's going on.
And it's like one of those cases where sleuths come into town and throwed out little rumors. Well, the parents must have done this because they didn't have this. Because one of the people online even said that the parents must have done it because they didn't have a huge billboard in their yard saying Kaylee went missing from here.
Yeah. I think I think the problem is like whenever we're on the outside looking in, it's easy to point and say, well, you should do this and you should do that, especially if you've been following true crime or missing cases for a long period of time, right? There's certain things that we typically see take place in investigations, and so whenever we're from the outside looking in, seeing it happen, we're like, oh, well, you need to contact this agency and get their poster filed, and you need to contact this
Mm-hmm.
person and do this, and you should make this flyer, and you should make a missing group. And like we think of those steps, but whenever you're a family member actively going through this, number one, you have the stress of the fact that your child is missing. And then you have to think about, what do you do? What do you do next? How do you answer questions? How do you present yourself? How do you what's the best way to advocate for your missing child? And like I could never imagine the shoe being on the other foot. Like I could never imagine being one of those people.
And you know what, Sleuth Mom? The thing is even me helping with this case and a few more cases that I've helped with, if it was my daughter who went missing, I would be screaming, somebody help me because I have no idea what I'm doing. Because I would be completely lost. And I have some idea of where to get started.
Yeah. I know that Missing Justice has been helping them a little bit as well, which has helped out getting flyers and stuff out there in the Facebook
Yes.
group and stuff.
Yes, yes, that's helped. I think there's been a couple of places that's helped them, you know. Um, and then we've got, some good print shops here in town that have been lovely to donate thousands of flyers to us to distribute. So, and this is I realize this another thing too is working with these different missing cases, like working with the Cody Higgins case. When we got through working it and we found him this past week, some of his family members come up to us and said, "You know what? We're not going to give this up. We're going to continue to help missing children or missing people."
You know, that's
And
amazing. That's awesome.
it is great. And he texted me later. He said, "Thanks for everything y'all do." I said, "No thanks, needed." I said, "I'm just glad that we could help you." And he's like, "Just know that we're I'm going to continue to help. So whatever y'all need somebody, let me know. I'm here to search. I'm here to whatever you need." He's like, "Because I've seen now that families can't do this on their own." He said, "Because we were lost." And he said, "I don't want any family to have to do that alone." He said, "So," and I said, "So maybe we're starting a movement around here so more people will, actually get involved with their communities and start doing stuff like this."
It's so what we need. We need people, boots on the ground, like in every state and every neighborhood, really, to just be able to help out whenever these cases come up. Because kids don't just disappear; they're somewhere, whether they're there on their own accord or against their will. That's all. It's all relevant. They still need found. They're still not old enough to make decisions on their own and like be out there. Just I don't know. You
Exactly.
get what I'm
We have
saying? Like,
another child that just went missing about 10 miles from where Kaylee went missing from. She's 15. I'll probably shoot y'all over some information on her later. But she's just went missing last week, over the last few days, over the weekend. But
wow.
she's run off with a boyfriend, and somebody says, "Oh, well, she just run away." I said, "If your parents don't know where you're at and you're not of age, then you're missing. Period."
Right. Right. Well, honestly, there's this girl who just ran away recently, and I gotta look up her name real quick, but it was a terrifying case because she's been missing, and they actually just found her deceased, and the parents believed that she ran away with the boyfriend, and the boyfriend just got arrested. Like he
See,
shot her. They found her dead after 9 days, I think it was, in a vehicle, and he got arrested for shooting her, a 15 and a 16-year-old. And so, just because they're young, just because they're with their significant other or whatever is going on, does not mean that they are safe. And it doesn't mean that they're always there on their own free will. You don't know. And I hate to say this, but anymore, like it's just there's so much evil in the world, right? And you
so
just don't
much.
know where it's going to come from ever. And it's hard. It's hard to trust, even if it is the boyfriend, quote unquote, that they're with or the girlfriend. Um, you don't always know that they're actually there by their own will.
And this boyfriend and his parents should know it's not okay to harbor this 15-year-old whose parents don't know where she's at.
Right, exactly. So, is there anything investigation wise that is new to Kaylee's case that you're able to share with us?
Not really. We know that we just found out that she was on another site besides Omegle. She was on Y99, which is another site that I'd never heard of, just like Omegle. And they're just like each other. They're like identical sites. Um, And she was on it as early as back as in February when she was at brother's house. Um, but no, I mean, we we absolutely just don't know anything, and every lead that they have had as far as emails or text messages or anything that they've gotten off of her social media have all come to nothing.
Yeah, a lot of people are just saying like Locomai has never heard of that site. I've never heard of that website either. And that's
Hmm.
kind of shocking because we just read through so many websites during our internet safety things, and so that's scary to me that
And
there's still more. There's always new ones.
we actually had a lady from, it's April Brass Robinson. She's the founder and CEO of Go Against Trafficking, who was at Kaylee's vigil and talked to us. And she's amazing at the stuff that she can tell you. You need to have her on your channel.
If you want to put her in contact with me, I would love to talk to her. Yes,
Yes.
Jaden Rentus. That's who I was thinking of. She was missing for I think it was 9 days. BC just sent me the article earlier, so I'm glad that she's here and was able to say that. And they were calling her a quote unquote runaway, and her young boyfriend also just got arrested for he shot her. He shot her and killed her. And
Mm.
it's just terrifying because you just never know what is going on. And so you have this situation where Brenda and Danny and her brothers and her extended family, such as the aunts, uncles, grandparents, whoever, her friends, her co-riders, her co-workers, like all of the people are completely devastated and still hoping and praying for Kaylee to come home. And so Kaylee, if you're listening to this, and you are able to reach out to someone, I don't care who it is, I don't care if it's me, even. Please reach out to absolutely anyone and let them know that you are okay. If you are, wanting to be wherever you are, you're 17 now. I'm sure we can help you through an emancipation process or whatever you need to do. If you are okay, let us know, because not knowing, searching for you is devastating. And it's affected the community. It's affected all of us. I know I've been following your case since you went missing. And I know that we're all concerned and we've been praying for you daily. And so please, please reach out to someone, preferably law enforcement or your parents. But whoever it is, just let someone know if you're able. Sorry, just wanted
And
to
that,
put that out there to her.
yes, and that, that's the thing. That's what Brenda says. It's the not knowing that is just absolutely killing them. And it's taking a toll on their mental, their physical, their health, you know, in general. It's taking a toll on them, and it's just not knowing and the stress of just all of it, because it's a lot, you know. We wake up in the mornings and our first text is morning, like, what can we do today?
Yeah.
Who
Well, and
can
I'm
we
sure,
email? Who can we call? Who can we,
that's
you
what I was
know,
going to say, the never ending stream of emails and reaching out to people and just searching for any type of answers. And just to hit a dead end in
and
every road, like it's so frustrating, I'm sure.
and when people say, "Oh, you're not doing anything," really, y'all just don't know. Like, we wake up to the text messages and the emails every morning, and I know at what I do, I can only imagine that what Brenda's not doing when we're not together or we're not collaborating with one another. Me and her and Shauna are always, we spend 2 or 3 hours a day just on the phone with each other, you know,
Yeah,
trying to come up with different things
something.
that we can do. We talked about hitting some hostels, the glamping and the camping community,
Hmm.
you know, sending all of them emails and flyers and, you know, instead of just hotels, you know, yeah, that's another thing on our bucket list this week is to hit those camping and glamping places all over Georgia. And
Well,
we're in the
Jingles,
process of talking to all the sheriff's departments and seeing if we can't get her missing poster put on each one of the different counties'
websites.
websites. Yes.
Wow. Well, Jingles, I appreciate you so much for coming on and giving us this update. You know, even though there's not any new information, we're trying to hit Kaylee's name into the algorithm again this week. Um, we just want her home. Everybody just wants you home, Kaylee. And
Yes.
so
So,
if you are a creator and you are watching this, please, guys, do me a favor and put her on your community wall this week or make a short upload video about the fact that she is missing. The more times that her name hits the YouTube algorithm this week, the more that she might circulate to her videos might circulate to someone who maybe does not know that Kaylee Jones is missing. So please, please consider doing that if you are a YouTube creator. If you're not a YouTube creator and you're in my chat or watching the replay, please hit the like button and share. You can share the video or join this Facebook group that Sherry has been posting. It's also in the description of this video if you're watching on the replay to help put her flyer out there. We have seen 2 different cases this week that have been located safe after multiple weeks of missing because of the fact that people were posting flyers. 2 cases, guys, and that is completely huge. And so sharing a flyer, even if you don't think it helps, it definitely does. So please, please consider, getting her face out there for us and sharing her one more time. So
well, thank
yes,
you for
YouTube is
having
giving
me.
all creators a community tab now. So all you have to do, guys, is upload 1 or 2 videos to your YouTube, even if it's a short, even if it's something I can post like a generic for you guys to upload, it will give you a community tab over the next week or so. So if, please, please activate a channel and consider doing that so that you're able to share too.
Okay.
So, Jingles, is there anything that you want to say before we close out for the night?
I think we've covered everything. Just Kaylee, if you hear this, please reach out to some of us. Sorry, I can't stop coughing. But
It's
just
okay.
reach out to us and reach out to a cop, anybody. Just try to get help.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you so much, Jingles, for coming on. I'm going to go ahead and let you go.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you coming on to share with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Jingles. Sorry, I know she was having a hard time there. I know once you start coughing, it's like really hard to stop. So I totally feel that she probably needed a drink. Yeah, you're not a creator, but you would totally utilize a community page. Yes, they are giving it to everyone. And I noticed this because Savage Says that comes in here a lot that I work with. She has a gaming channel that only has 7 subscribers. And she shared a community post the other day. And I was like, how did you just share a community post? And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm over 500 subs. And I'm like, no, Savage, this is on your gaming channel. And it was like, what? Mind explosion, because now everyone is getting access to the community tab page. So upload a video, become an official creator, and you will have access too. And that can help. I mean, think of the amount of flyers and information and whatever that we could get out there. They absolutely do help. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for everyone who came to support. Thank you, B Tim, for gifting memberships. I seen you sneak that in there. I wasn't able to say anything because Jingles was talking at the time. And also thank you for the super chat. You guys don't know how much it helps to support the channel every time that you do stuff like that. not just with the equipment and everything else that it takes to run this channel, but also with the fact that the YouTube algorithm actually promotes your videos more, the more donations and stuff that you get as well. That's why some of these drama channels and different channels that, have a constant flow of donations coming in have so many more viewers as well, because they get the constant ad revenue and make YouTube lots of money. And so they promote them more. Um, yes, thank you, beat Tim. Exactly. We have totally been praying for community tabs for over a year. It does really help. You have a community tab now. Thank you, Grandma Sherry. I appreciate you all. Grandma Sherry, everyone, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off here. I love you all so much. Bye-bye.